Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today we are going to be breaking down the brand new weekly boss. Again, this video is hopefully intended for people who are just getting into the game or who are a little bit behind or who have been playing on and off and just don't have a huge roster of characters, so they need to have a greater understanding of the mechanics at play and all that stuff. So if you are at endgame and killing it, not for you, my friend, but I appreciate you for stopping by. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be breaking down the new weekly boss, which if you've not done the story, then please go do it, so I'm not spoiling you. Ideally, you've done it, and we know at this point that it's Signora. In fact, we knew it was Signora back when they started releasing trailers for 2.1, so, or 2.2. 2.1? 2.1. Sorry. But yes, essentially she is a brand new harbinger. Not really brand new, we've known about her for a while, but she is fire and cryo, so those are the elements that we're going to want to stay away from, but honestly it's not that bad, because a lot of the characters that we have that are cryo and etc. Are leveled up ideally, so even if you're not dealing 10k damage, you're still dealing like 4 or 5, which is still better than a character that you don't have leveled up or invested in, because it's on 100% immunity, so we're good there. Anyways, we're going to be using Zhongli to like kind of leverage showcasing her, knocking her dead really quick, and going through her boss fight first, and then we will go in there with a lesser team, a team not made of mostly 5 stars, or what is probably a 4-star, 5-star like Bennett. But yes, I just want to show you guys, go through the paces, that way we're not sitting there like having to iframe dodge whilst I'm trying to showcase some of the attack combinations. The main problem with Signora, guys, is not... It's a little bit, unlike Child's boss fight, which is a lot of it's just like, he does a lot of damage, so just wait to push in, and if you have a shield, all the better, you can be a little more ruthless and be fine. Signora, her boss fight works around a kind of subtle, like, timer, and yeah, also, just a side thing, the Raiden Shogun, unless you have her super leveled up, is not the best here. She's good, but not like, you know, crazy. Anyways, so one of the things that they tell you here is that you will basically start accumulating either sheer cold or blazing heat. These both increase when you are hit by her attack, but it's just gonna be pretty high anyway, even if you're not getting hit by her attack. But yes, basically this is the thing that's kind of a weird, subtle time mitigation, where there is these like crystals within the world space of this fight that you crack and you will lose your sheer cold or whatever, but there's only a finite amount of them in the thing. Wait for pause. I'm wrong, actually. You just stay near them. You don't actually have to break them. If you break them, you get instant relief from any sort of stat or sheer cold or blazing whatever instantly, although do not break them, because it's that way you can go as long as you want. So we are in her ice phase. She always seemingly starts with her ice phase. Also, yeah, see this, so that's one of her attacks. She just throws down a little ice thing. Boom, she throws down some icicles. As most things in Genshin are, if you just side strafe, you can dodge basically everything in the world. And yeah, as you guys can see, we're accumulating sheer cold. We're about to start taking damage over time, but because we are standing next to these, we are cooling down. Now, actually, this is a little shock to me. I did not know that's exactly how it worked. I thought you broke that, and then you eventually attained, like, a cryo thing. Like, so that would reduce you, but I didn't know just by standing near it you reduce your cold. That's awesome. Okay, maybe this is not a problem then. You just gotta be patient, as most fights go. We'll do this. We'll just use some good old balls because I want to see more of her in action because she's fantastic. On that. She's great. Also, she's powering up like a super attack there, which again, you would ideally want to dodge. So again, every single time we get hit, we're going to be starting to accumulate more sheer cold. I have Zhongli, so we can kind of tank an abundance of things. Again, everything is pretty easy to dodge as long as you're just strafing and you're not that close. But sometimes it actually heat seeks in and kills you. Jesus, I don't actually know that. Nice. We're learning things together. Not great, I know, in a guide. Forgive me. Anyways, we're just going to blitzkrieg her down so we can get on to the next fight. And this is where she starts changing. Now, this is the aspect of the fight that is very reminiscent of the cryo cube. You're going to want to pick up butterflies, pyro butterflies, and basically heal yourself. But also, you're going to want to stand here so you can start losing sheer cold. If you just start zigzagging back and forth like that, you'll be able to dodge all of them, even without sprinting. So that'd be my advice there. Crack this. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of negative. Like, I don't think she resets her phase if we don't get that. So you don't have to freak out if that's the case. Yeah, she's just waiting patiently whilst we're here. Again, you don't want to break this. So in fact, I actually wish I did break that. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so we're gonna look around. There's gonna be a butterfly somewhere. It does look like there's not an abundance of them. Oh, in fact, they go away. God damn it. Bye. Now we're gonna hit once, boom, crack that open, easy peasy. So now this is basically a cocoon for Signora's fire form, which is she's the Ember Witch or whatever, which is actually pretty relevant because the best fire set in the game is apparently her armor, which is the Crimson Witch of Flames. Not best, but one of the better fire sets in the game. But yeah, Signora, all of the booba. Okay, so this is actually something I want to see that's a little bit relevant. So first of all, ow. Second of all, I just want to heal up with Benny. So we'll do this.
I can't afford it.
Get our people healed up. Bennett, heal up first.
Let's light it up.
Let's also do this. Bennett apparently wasn't fully healed. Bennett, hurry up. Heal up. Okay, so now we're accumulating more heat. So I wonder if we just stand near these. Okay, it does reduce. Okay, so you don't. This boss fight can last as long as possible. Okay, so this makes it a lot easier. I thought it was a time mitigated. Instead, you just kind of gotta swirl around them like that. And again, it's pretty easy to dodge. In fact, did you just break your own butterfly? Anyway, so yeah, as long as you're keeping distance and you're keeping your cold in check, it's pretty easy. Again, a lot of her attacks are simple as just a bunch of AoE attacks, which you're going to want to stay away from her in waves anyway. So ideally, you would just basically wait until you have your supports, and then when you're going in, lay down Bennett's Stamp or lay down Diona's Stamp. Or you'll have a shield character like Diona or like Zhongli, which is incredibly valuable here. Anyways, then we'll just do some damage. We'll just try to kill them. Honestly, I feel like I would have an easier time with Razor because Raze is just great on many levels. We're gonna cool down right beside her, right beside her. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do one of these. Hopefully we don't break this. Be careful not to break this because I feel like that's the only big negative here. We'll do this. We'll do this. And we'll hope that she doesn't. She moved. See, that's the biggest annoying thing with Signora is that she's always. It's very frustrating because unlike Child, who seems like he does dish out a shit ton of damage but then can take it, Signora constantly is dodging away. And similar to the Electro boss, whenever she is vulnerable, she is also attacking. So she has very little one-sided things to that. So again, either you're going to be very careful, very ranged, or yeah, if you have Ganyu, then every boss fight in the game is a joke to you. So yeah, you can just be a mile away and be okay. It is a little nice having a character that's a pseudo range like this though, but again, we're about to get out of range really fast here. Actually, we're actually somehow still hitting. It's shocking. Okay, so right here we're red hot, so we're gonna lose a boatload of health. So I'm just gonna keep Zhongli here, cooling down. Our sheer cold is starting to slowly but surely pluck down. Again, Zhongli's shield is amazing. In this instance is where like it's a little bit more unrealistic. You do need, like, Zhongli's shield is just impenetrable, which is why I'm able to sit there and be like, Signora, you're cute, and that's it. You are not dangerous at all. Torn to oblivion. Yeah, see, this is the thing that sucks about the boss fight. This is my only like complaint, is that she just keeps teleporting around, which just feels super unrewarding because you can't deal damage. So you're sitting there just like, great, so I'm just hanging out. Like, it's not like you're dealing a shit ton of damage. It's not like I can't survive it. It's literally just like I can't build around this. I can't have a character that like stops you from deciding to just, you know, Beyblade around, essentially. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. By the way, I am taking my time. I'm not trying to like super kill her. If I wanted to, I could just use Bennett. I'm just trying to show you guys all of the attack combinations that she does have. And again, the thing that's killing me right now is the sheer cold. So we're just staying close here. We might actually pop this. Okay, so now our sheer cold's managed. So again, you just gotta make sure to do that. And again, I think if you go far away from her, like if I went to this one, I was like, okay, let's be a little safe here. She, again, her attacks have mass AoE, but as long as you're gonna need to cool down anyway, so might as well. Also, the AoE damage is nothing, and then she'll come to you, and then you can do this, and then you can do this, and then I can heal up with both my characters that are pretty weak right now in my healing zone. If you have Diona, that's awesome. If you have Zhongli, that's awesome. If you have Bennett, that's awesome. Any sort of healer kind of thing. We'll heal up. We'll do this, and now our heat's getting built up again. So we're just gonna run over here, cool down. Again, this is, I think, a boss fight where people can feel like they're trapped. As long as you're going ping-pong back and forth between these like ice stones, you're gonna be okay. Just try not to hit them. Zhongli, you can kind of hit them, and also you can iframe most things in the game. But ladies and gentlemen, let's be done with it. This was a fight that seemed a little bit over. I have a lot of characters that are a little excessive. Also, I think I just fucked up. I think I just used. No, I didn't. Good. Whew. That could have been real rough. Anyways, we're gonna knock her dead real quick. Also, Shincho is a much better choice to take into this fight, not Ball. Although I love Ball. Yeah, Shincho, just because she's a fire, you're gonna be executing Vaporize constantly, and you can quickly knock her dead. Yee! She almost got me at the last minute there because she was doing a barrage. But again, I think as all boss fights go, if you're dying and you can't do it, take it slower, back up, and just strafe to the right or to the left. Ideally to the right. I find more luck with the right, weirdly enough. But yes, I think most boss fights, even with the child fight, it was hard because people were trying to like push in and not slowly deal damage. Instead of they were trying to like do it immediately, like we're kind of used to by melting bosses or trying to kill it in 2 seconds. And I think with just certain bosses, you need to bide your time until you're at the level in which you can deal an abundance of burst damage. But alas, that was the weekly boss fight. Yes, with 5 stars, but not with the ideal 5 stars. I brought Ball in there because I like to see her gameplay essentially some more because I've seen everybody else's far too much. But an ideal team I think for this boss fight would be you need healing because you're inevitably going to get clapped because she does so much AoE damage. So the fact that you're not going to get graced by fire is not probably an option unless you have an impenetrable shield. But yeah, so having a Diona, a Bennett, or anything like that, or even Sayu at this point would be fantastic, especially Diona. I think Diona just upping your elemental mastery, healing you, and then also giving you a shield so that you can be a little dangerous and go in is huge. So yeah, well, upping your elemental mastery if you have her C6, sorry. But this is an ideal team for me. We got range damage, which is nice, although I would also take Hu Tao, and also it is not the best to take Hu Tao in here because she's doing fire, or Yoimiya. You want to probably take someone else in here, like a Razor, like anybody like that. Again, Bennett is awesome. Zhongli will give me the time to go in. In fact, if I were to make an ideal team, it would probably be Xinqiu as my main, Razor as my main DPS, Zhongli as a healer, and ultimately, Bennett as a healer, and Zhongli. In fact, I'll swap that around. I don't like the way that looks. So this, to me, would be a much, much better team. I'm not just trying to have fun with my characters, which is what the other one was. We have Xinqiu, absolutely amazing, does a stupid amount of damage at a base, also gives you some resistance, just amazing. We also have Razor, just does a good bit of damage and is not the element that we are working against, if that makes any sense. And we have Bennett, just an amazing healer. I could throw Sayu. If I had Diona leveled up, I would rather have her, and I could put some more support DPSs here outside of Zhongli, although Zhongli debuffs them to elemental damage, which is just increasing our overall damage. So yeah, anyways, let's real quick actually just run it back with this team, and we'll see just what the difference is. Although I feel like this is a little bit more of attainable as a team goes. Razor's a 4-star. He's on a lot of banners, especially with support characters, which most people want because they're eternal, basically. They are always valuable. Xinqiu, I have him C6. This is excessive. You probably don't have that. Bennett, I don't have him that. I have C2, not that leveled up, but also I have amazing artifacts and I've invested into him a great deal. And Zhongli, I will show you a more scuffed run than this. But yeah, also, if I didn't have Zhongli, I would much rather Diona, and I could probably even take off Bennett there and put somebody else. Whether that be Ball, maybe, any other character that's not Fire or Cryo. So yeah, anyways. Signora being a McA-hole, as per the usual. We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, and then we'll do one of these. Probably should have made sure I had his ult before I went and did this, but it's fine. Xinqiu will make up for all of the other damage we're not dealing. Wild, anyways. We are accumulating sheer cold, but with just Razor being fucking nuts, we're going to be more than okay. We're going to defrost, essentially. And we're going to wait for the flowers to start blooming, but she will start attacking, so be careful. Yes. Where are the flowers? Or not flowers, sorry, butterflies. Fire butterflies. Which I guess makes sense that we're really, like, helping her become a fire thing, yeah? Odd. Simply put, odd. Okay, now this is the part of the boss fight where she is just doing so much AoE damage. There's fire everywhere. It would be nice to try to get any sort of support DPS so you can burn her down as soon as you possibly can. But I know not a lot of people have that, especially a lot of their support DPSs happen to also be their fire support DPSs, so it doesn't exactly work out. But yes. Okay. We're gonna do one of these. We're gonna do one of these. We're gonna start building up our other characters' ults and whatnot. Everyone's ready to go. We're gonna do this, but the thing with her that sucks is that she actually, again, does not, she like moves around a lot. So right now we're lucking out because she's staying in Bennett's ult and we're able to deal some damage, but then she puts everything on. No, do not. Oh, we just broke one of the things we wanted. The reason why you would break them is if you have max sheer cold, or sorry, max heat, blazing something. That is when you would want to use it. Otherwise, don't use it. Yeah. So like right here, if I wanted to, I could, and if I didn't want to like stop attacking her, I could just come over here, break this. You think it would break faster because I have a claymore, but I guess not. Very strange. Anyways, we'll reapply Zhongli's shield because things can get a bit grim. Then we'll use Bennett's ult as soon as we're revving to go. I guess we should just stand here when this is happening, because we can't do anything anyway. And we could just dodge her little whirlwinds. If I wasn't scratching my beard. We'll do this, do this. And she ran away again. This is the part of the boss fight that is the most frustrating thing ever. It's just like, can you just figure out what you want to do? God damn it. Please. But yeah, this is going significantly better than Yanfei, etc. Although we do have max of that blaze stat on us, so we could break off, but I felt comfortable that we would do enough damage. So yeah. But again, that is like an end game thing. My Razor, albeit a 4-star, is my most invested character because I love him to bits. Now let me make a team that's a little more reasonable and again show you guys the reality of what you might be facing when you're just getting into the game, etc. Okay, if I had Kaya, I would throw him in here. I don't have her very leveled up. It's a little rough if I'm being honest. As a little bit more realistic, I don't have any DPS. I could use Xiao. Basically, I have no DPS that I've invested in other than our boy. so yeah. Okay, so this is, to me, a team that is a little bit more viable. Again, Xiangling, yes, she's fire, and so is he, and so is he. So this is me trying to emulate and showcase what having not the right element for the job, but it's not like she's fully immune to fire, so it's not like this is pointless. Also, you mainly just need a DPS, and if you happen to invest in one like Eula or Razor, which is just dealing universal physical damage, then that's really, really good. And then you just need any way to repair them. Now, yes, it's nice having good old Zhongli or Diona. Ideally, I would have Diona here rather than Bennett, although I like Bennett's attack buff. I just would rather having a shield so that I can feel free to go in there with and deal damage. But then we also have a support DPS, but it's also fire, but it's Xiangling. Everybody has Xiangling. If you do enough Spiral Abyss, you should have her. And with the new artifact set that ups the ult damage and in harmony with your energy recharge, she's fantastic. She's one of the better support DPSs in the game now. And then we have Xinyan, who is just the bastardized child of Mihoyo, I feel like, because she doesn't got any information about her in the game, basically. No hangout, nothing. And she's kind of just weird, in a weird place in the game. But she also is going to give us a fire shield, which should give us extra resistance against Signora's fire attacks, giving us a little bit of wiggle room within that thing, because fire shields are more resistant to fire. But everything else, not so much. Okay, let's see if we can make this work, even though, yeah, the last phase is fire, and I don't think she's 100% resistant to fire. Maybe I'm gonna have a really rude awakening here, but I think we can do it. Even then, I could just leverage Razor and Bennett to, like, just utilize Bennett's healing, not his fire or whatever. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna do this, we build up charge, we're gonna throw Goba out, we're gonna do this. We're gonna try to build up our ult as soon as possible, we're gonna do this. We'll do this. Okay, don't kill her, please. Jesus Christ, did you just immediately ate up that shield? Or no, just, it still staggered her, I guess. Weird. Anyways, we're about to knock her dead. This is working out shockingly well, honestly. I'm gonna keep doing this just to make sure I can keep my safety up, basically, with Bennett's ults, because you do need to build up charges. Easy peasy, we're gonna cool the hell down. We're gonna use Bennett because he's also just a tank, because he's built like a truck. Anyways, where are those flowers at? Come on, flare it up. Yeah, I'm gonna try to really focus on the flowers because I don't want to deal with her spiky things. And then this, yeah. So if you're quick about that, you don't have to deal with like her barrage of ice. Honestly, this is going better than my other team. What the fuck is this? I guess maybe it's because it's fire and it's ice, so it's creating melt. This could be where shit's just less ideal. Over the board. Here we go. Let's make it happen. We're gonna do one of these. This. Quickly, Goba. Please give me some healing before we switch back. And attack. Yeah, everything is hitting less when it comes to fire, but it's still hitting. So again, the main damage that's coming from us is our main DPS Razor. She's over here. I'm gonna break this. Yes, Razor, thank you for locking onto that. Again, I think that's the part of the game's designer's shitty, like, boss battle design, where they're like, what if we just put her in front of the thing that also can be attacked, so they're just angry and frustrated with their outcome. This. We'll switch to Razor, heal him up. We do have the excess damage, but we have a crazy amount of healing with Bennett, so we're able to easily do this. Let's actually cool down, because that's a little bit unrealistic. I know some people will have to take a minute to like cool down, because Bennett maybe doesn't have as much like HP that I have him built for, so that's not exactly fair. Again, she's just gonna start whispering around. We're just gonna chill, hang out, live our best life. Ooh, dodge that real quick. Never mind, apparently we didn't. Apparently no.
Adventure time.
I am blown away with Xiangling and Xinyan's performance. Oh, by the way, I should have showed you guys how not built they are, just in case some people are like, but yeah, but you have them built to shit. No, no, I do not. In fact, all of them are very scuffed. Most, in fact, are scuffed. Anyways, we'll do this and we'll wrap up this fight, or at least try to. But of course she teleports away, because it's just the funnest mechanic ever. I miss Child a lot. It's not like she has an abundance of damage or anything like that. Ooh, it's getting a little grimace. It's getting a little grimace. Let's switch to Benny, because he can heal. Ooh, that's hard dodge, but we managed.
Off we go.
Alright, we'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do this. Goba, this. And we'll do this. The reason why I use Xinyan, by the way, is because she has electro resistance or fire resistance with that shield, so I know that I'm not going to die on impact as soon as I spawn into her, even though she is not very leveled up. But that's it. Blah. Sorry. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, just so you guys a quick TLDR of what my characters look like. Again, my main DPS is like very stacked. I leveraged every possible window of damage I could get him on him, and he is still not quite. Well, I don't know. He's very good, basically. But he's also a physical DPS, so yeah, he just works in any boss fight ever, unless they ever release a weekly that is resistant like crazy to physical damage, which they have yet to do. Anyways, my Bennett is very, very good. He's one of the only other characters that I have that is super invested in. I have him on 309 energy recharge. He is very, very good. He also gives our team an attack buff when we use him. Cool. Xiangling is very not leveled up. In fact, she's pretty trash. Her energy recharge is okay. Her crit damage, crit rate is not very good either. Her pyro damage, got her a pyro cup. Otherwise, she is not very good. And yeah, I could use a lot. She could use a lot of work essentially. I think I want to make her just like a burst DPS tool. To where I could just put her on the set that she is on, and basically have much better luck with her. Xiangling, however, is very, very not leveled up at all. She has 47 crit rate and 62 damage. That's not a very good conversion. And also her energy recharge is not very good either. Good news with her, though, is she generates an abundance of particles. So all in all, not that bad if you don't have the right conversion on the energy recharge, because she just generates a shit ton of particles with Boba. Oh, as of their weapons, by the way, she's rocking this weapon. It's a free-to-play weapon, basically. It's a refinement rank 3. Xiangling is rocking the Dragon Bane, which is only really good for her. And yeah, and Bennett's rocking the Dragon Spine free sword. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully that gave some sort of clarity on how to beat the boss fight. Again, essentially it's weirdly like fighting things in Dragon Spine, except also in the Sahara Desert. But I'm shocked by the fact that it seemed significantly less bad when you don't feel like you want to rush through it. Kind of similar to Child's fight, actually. As long as you pace yourself out, and if you're starting to get overwhelmed, you back up and sidestep essentially, you're going to be good to go. If you have a Diona, if you have a Bennett, both of them can generate a shit ton of healing. Diona can heal and give you protection, and is ranged, so you can generate particles at a range whilst being defended. And also she's going to give you a cryo shield, which is going to be good because any sort of cryo attacks is basically going to do nothing. Hence why Xinyan, who has one of the weakest shields in the game, and does have the weakest shield in the game, was able to put up a fight against Signora on her last phase, is because fire attacks are basically immune to fire shields, which is great. And again, it's not like just because she is fire, she's immune to fire. She's not like a slime or a cube or whatever. She is just weak to it. So you can still use your fire characters if you only have Xiangling, which everyone has. You can still use her, make use, get by, get the weekly material for this boss, and call it good. And again, this boss fight can last forever. So if your argument for why this was maybe scuffed or weird is that Razor is hyper invested in, then my only thing I would say is cool, then we would just do a couple more rotations, hold back, push in, hold back, push in, heal with Bennett when we can, and move in, and etc. So all it would is just increase the time in which this would have taken to get by. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, also most people at least have one 5-star character in that at this point, and if you had a Mona, huge. If you leveled that character up, then amazing. She can massively help you in this instance, increasing your team's overall damage. If you had anybody else, if you had Shincho, that's fantastic. That's also a 4-star character that some people have. Hell, even Fischl I think would have been good here. Maybe even better than Shang Ling in some instances. And most people have a guaranteed Fischl. I probably should have thrown Fischl in there, especially for the last fight overload and a constancy of like tracking damage that Oz would be able to do would be huge. Very, very good. Also, it would just constantly give us particles, so Razor could basically back-to-back his ult, synergizing greater with our team, but anywho, that aside, yeah. Hopefully this helped, guys. This is just me breaking down. This, again, is ideally made for people who are just getting into the game, kind of. I know you need to basically have invested yourself a lot in the game in order to get to Inazuma, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to have like a shit ton of characters, a shit ton of know-how. I know so many people who just like Genshin because of its art style, its base characters, design, and story, outside of like mid-maxing characters, and weekly bosses tend to be a cut above the rest in terms of difficulty. So they may not know exactly what teams could work or what exactly they need to do. If I could break this boss fight down into anything, it's just do not be overly aggressive. Make sure your cold stats plummeted down, and hopefully at this point in the game you have a healer or a healer with a great shield at this point to keep you alive, so that you can go in. But I will say this fight does make a mockery in a weird way of Zhongli because Zhongli can't protect you from the cold effect or the heat effect, which is funny. But I digress. If this helped in any way, shape, or form, if you guys just like seeing Signora pop off in greater detail, being able to see all of her attack combinations and how cool her combat actually is, because a lot of us actually just blitzkrieg her down in a couple seconds and can't really see a lot of it, then hopefully you share this video around or even support it in any way, shape, or form. Thank you again. We cover Genshin constantly on the channel. If I could see your lovely face once again, I'd be happy. Thank you again, and goodbye.